We welcome you to Legends Field in Kansas City, Kansas, where the series is up for grabs between two teams with a win and are certainly looking to grab the final game of the set as the Kansas City Monarchs collide with the Chicago Dogs. Getting set to go for Game 3 here, Jackson. Cloudy evening, but fans have certainly showed out and showed up as Dakota Hudson will get the start on the mound, the former big leaguer who is a guy that spent time with St. Louis, Colorado, and he's looking to make his second start. And you see Dakota Hudson, 34th overall pick in the 2016 MLB draft by the St. Louis Cardinals, and he spent 7 seasons in the MLB, Jackson, a guy that's spent time really at the highest level.
And you talk about that, over 132 games at the MLB level. Great veterinary status. When you got a guy who's been put in some tough situations at the highest level of baseball, it's always good to have him here in Kansas City. It's going to teach these guys a lot, especially pitchers who are wanting to get to that point as well. So glad to see Hudson. He's had that one start on the first game of the season against Kane County. He went just the 4 innings, 7 hits on 3 runs. So, maybe looking for a different story here at home, but, glad to see him repping the Monarchs here at home.
And he's pitched in 132 games at the major league level. He was also the 2017 Texas League Pitcher of the Year. And this is our starting lineups presented by Dairy Farmers of America. Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by DFA. DFA is a farmer-owned cooperative made up of 9,000 family dairy farmers and is headquartered here in KCK. With a commitment to sustainability, innovation, community, and nutrition, the farmers and 19,000 employees of DFA are proud to share the simple pleasures of real dairy straight from our family-owned farms to your table. Visit dfamilk.com to learn more. So to lead off the inning is Giovanni DeJakamo, who will step in. Tonight's first pitch speed was 89 miles per hour, thrown by starting pitcher Dakota Hudson, and is presented by Coors Light. Cold as the Rockies. Coors Light is a proud partner of your Monarchs. They encourage you to join us this summer for Thirsty Thursdays and post-game player autographs every Saturday. Please enjoy responsibly. So DeJakamo went 1 for 3 yesterday. He crossed home plate twice. And he's been a good leadoff hitter for them.
He really has. 1 for 3, like you said, 2 for 6 in the series. He's batting .364 versus right-handed pitchers. So with the speed that DeJakamo has, he's a good one to put up there in the 1 hole.
The 2-1 DeJakamo is lifted into right field. And Marcus Smith will come under it.
It's a great inside pitch. Just a good find by DeJakamo. This wind blowing out to left field just caught that ball in the downwind, so it gave Smith a good read on it, who's playing right field today. He was in center field the last 2 games here at home, so looks like Catholic Pietra has given a little shake-up to the defensive side, but nonetheless a great outfielder out there.
This brings in Wilder. So Ethan Wilder, yesterday, he had 2 hits, 4 at-bats. He was able to get home 3 separate times. So he had a successful day at the plate, as so many of these dogs did. Had that 11-2 win last night. A 5-run third inning. Hudson will set in, and that's popped off. Back behind Lindsley. Looks like I hit him right in the head.
And that's just a great slider. Hudson's going to average around that 85, 87, and it just cut across too much for Wilder to get a piece of it, but yeah, it's a good spot.
And the 1-2 to Wilder. And he's in the dirt. 2-2. Ethan Wilder batting at .333. He's got 7 hits this season. 2 RBIs. The 2-2. So that was something yesterday where the Monarchs early on were down in pitch counts, and now right here you're facing the same type of situation. Hudson's payoff is above the zone for ball 4. So the first dog to get on base is Ethan Wilder, and he'll take first.
Going back to what you said about the walks, that was a big, just a big thing for the Dogs where they were able to be very patient in the box. And if you're the Monarchs, you definitely don't want to give anything to the Dogs. And, loading those bases up with 0 out, 1 out situations, you're kind of scared after yesterday. So you kind of want to dial it back in the zone if you are Dakota Hudson.
Chance Sisco, who's been swinging the bat excellently at the plate, and a pitch that gets behind Lindsley, will advance Wilder to second. Yeah, looks like he just couldn't catch it.
Yeah, too far outside, a little bit too high as well. So Lindsley might have been expecting just a little bit more on the middle half of the plate. But that does set up the Dogs once again, runners in scoring position. They capitalized that yesterday. We'll look to see how they do it today.
Dogs had 8 runs in the first 4 innings, which really put the game out of reach. Dakota Hudson out of Mississippi State. Back in 2016, he served as their Friday night ace and led them to their first SEC regular season championship in 27 years. But a guy that, he's made it all the way to the top. Not only made it there, but stayed at that level and had 16 wins back in 2019 in the Cardinals starting rotation. The 2-1 is fouled back, and what can you say about a guy like this when you have him toeing the slab?
He's faced the toughest competition there is in baseball, especially in a tight NL Central division with where he was in 2019 with the Cardinals. A 3.35 ERA, 136 batters, a strikeout. I'd say, you get him in 2-strike situations. I'd look to see if Dakota Hudson can come through with more Ks.
Ground ball in between first and second. That gets to right field. Wilder gets the wave home. The throw at the plate is not in time. So an RBI single for Chance Sisco. Ethan Wilder glides home from second, and the Dogs strike first here in the top of the first.
Chance Sisco extends his hit streak to 6 games. Seen the ball very well, and another timely hit there by the Dogs. And how quickly can the game start? If you're Dakota Hudson, you got to put that right behind you. Focus on the batter at first. You got to double play in order with a guy in Altair who hasn't been seeing the ball very well against righties.
First time this series where a run has been scored in the first inning. Slow ground ball. Callahan charges towards it, makes the play at second. The throw back to first is behind Garza. That will allow Aaron Altair to get to first. Heads up play there from Callahan.
Big heads-up play. Good inside pitch, but Callahan had to make a tough throw across his body over to second base. And it was a great catch by Gonzalez. Just got a little bit away from him, but I also want to give a heads-up to Lindsley for getting behind Garza at first, and that'll keep Altair held up at first.
So Jax Groshans, who had 2 hits yesterday, will step in. 2 down. Groshans batting at .238. The 1-0. He's had 5 hits this season. Also 1 RBI. Altair's hands at first, 2 down, the 1-1 is ripped over Valenzuela into left field. So Jax Groshans keeps the train moving, and now a runner in scoring position with 2 on.
It's kind of the similar story from yesterday. It was a single back in the first. Then that second inning, it was 2 hits there, and already these Dogs up to 2 hits now in the first, 2 outs on the board. So Dakota Hudson has some insurance with the outs, but another chance with a scoring position for these Dogs. Look to see if he can get him out of the jam, but here's a guy who really broke open the game yesterday.
And he certainly did in the top of the 3rd inning, had a grand slam, and he hits a high fly ball into left field. It's the same spot as it was yesterday, but this time it's Grant Richardson under it to make the play. So Dakota Hudson gives up a run as an RBI single from Chance Sisco, and Chicago strikes first. We head to the bottom of the 1st when we return. We return for the bottom of the 1st inning. Chicago strikes first off of a RBI single from Chance Sisco that brought home Ethan Wilder. The Monarchs looking to respond in the bottom half of the inning. So they'll have their starting pitcher. Reggie Grace Jr. is going to get the start on the mound. He's had 2 innings pitched this season. He's given up 6 hits and 7 runs, but also accumulated 1 strikeout. The native of Madison, Mississippi. And he'll face off against Marcus Smith, Zahid Valenzuela, and Grant Richardson. A stacked 1, 2, and 3 in the order. Smith yesterday had a hit the day prior in the first game of this series, had an RBI triple in the bottom of the 3rd, which brought home Brady Lindsley. The 1-1 hit high in the air to center field. DeJakamo ranging back and making the play.
That was a beautiful swing there by Marcus Smith. Once again, he has one of the most fluid swings here in the top of the order. As again, that wind, it was pushing it more towards that left side. It just died down there in center field, but he caught a good fastball from Grace. Grace averages around that 87 to 90 mile an hour area with the fastball, 84, 85 with the cut fastball.
Valenzuela slices it left field side, and it just stays foul. Boy, that was close, Jackson. As you can see the batting order, Marcus Smith out in right field, Valenzuela, Grant Richardson, and then Saul Garza back at first base. Brings in Austin Callahan, who stays at 3rd. Trevor Boone, he's DHing today. And then the bottom of the order, Alvaro Gonzalez, who we saw pitching yesterday. He slides into the 8-hole, and Hudson Head down in the 9th spot out in center field. So once again, a lot of power with this order. As the 0-1 up the middle, and Valenzuela will head to first. That's more like it what we've seen from him in the preseason.
I was just about to say something about that. The preseason Valenzuela, that looked exactly like that. That swing up the middle. He found it right where he found it, right in the middle of the zone. Yesterday, he had that single in the 8th, so I think he's starting to kind of find his footing, realize what kind of pitches he wants. That was a cut fastball inside half of the plate, and Valenzuela knew exactly where to put it.
This is Grant Richardson, who had his best day of the season yesterday. 3 for 3, 2 RBIs. And Jackson, you talked to him post-game, and He certainly was just talking about how he's just doing his job out there.
He was. He realized that the Monarchs yesterday were in a really tough situation, especially going down early to these dogs. And he said, I just really wanted to get these guys and string together some hits and just play my part. And he saw some good opportunities and to put something out into a gap, and he ended up getting 2 doubles out of it. Good night from him last night, and looking for a similar night. But he's a great guy, and he's an even better ball player as well.
He homered in his second game versus Kane County. Valenzuela pushed back to the bag. Dogs' defensive alignment as Grace Jr., their pitcher. Chance Sisco behind the plate today. Jax Groshans at first. Daniel Harris at second. Brian Fuentes stands at third. Ethan Wilder at short. And then the twin brother of Derek, Jacob Mabin, makes his first appearance in this series out at left field. Giovanni DeJakamo in center, and C.J. Supicki out in right field. Valenzuela on his way to second. The throw from Sisco won't get there, and Valenzuela steals a base. That stolen base by Zahid Valenzuela means he got the green light. Green Light is a proud partner of your Kansas City Monarchs.
From the team that's last in the American Association right now in stolen bases with just the 1. Maybe that was a talk yesterday about let's put ourselves in a good situation to force ourselves with runners in scoring position.
Popped up and into the area where a lot of group outings over there. Jackson out in left field. That's great to see. We had youth night with all the youth baseball teams able to walk the field pregame, and that's just always something you want to see here in local Kansas City community. Having those youth baseball teams, they get to see a professional team and really talented ball players. As Grace sets in for the 2-2 on the inside, and Richardson ahead in the count.
This is what he did last night. He's a really big fighter at the plate. He just wants to see an extra pitch, and yesterday he really liked those outside off speeds. It's what he drove into that left center field gap twice for a double, so we'll see what Grace gives him.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Grace delivers. Reggie Grace came from the Washington Wild Things. Guy that was drafted in the 2018 draft in the 10th round by the Minnesota Twins. Reached as high as high A ball with the Cedar Rapids Colonels back in 2023. Most of his career, he was a reliever, became a starter last year with the Wild Things in the Frontier League. Grant Richardson, who leads the team in hits. We'll see the payoff. And a chopper just goes foul. Opportunity to respond here, Jackson. Only in the bottom of the first. Valenzuela did well to single in the center. And Grant Richardson battling here in this at-bat.
It's going to be the difference maker for this game if you're going to be able to come through in these types of situations. Last night it was Richardson, the only person on this team to drive in those 2 runs, and Josh Bissonette, the only person to score those 2 runs. So it's going to have to take a part in everybody, but if you have a guy like Richardson who stays consistent, especially in the middle of the order, it can help a bunch kind of juice the rest of the guys.
He's been struck out 7 times this year. We'll see the 3-2. Richardson sends a high fly ball, popped up to shallow right center, and Daniel Harris makes a routine catch for the second out. Just got a bit under it.
Yeah, that's a great pitch there by Grace. That was an attack pitch up and in the zone on Richardson, which Richardson's really been favoring the outside edge of the plate, so And Grace put it close enough where Richardson had to put a bat on it. So, and yeah, just got 2 underneath it. Now you got 2 outs on the board, and now Garza, one of the best in these situations, but you got to be thinking of how you're able to get Valenzuela even just over to third in the next couple pitches and how you're able to get him home.
Sal Garza, a 222 at the plate. He's had 2 home runs this season, both in the first inning. Did so against the King County Cougars. Was a little bit quiet after that, but was able to record a hit yesterday. He went 1 for 4 at the plate, and he swings and misses. So Valenzuela stands at second. 2 down. As it's Reggie Grace Jr. for the 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. As Sal Garza regathers. Jackson, what can you make about this situation right now?
You know, Garza's really good with runners on. To start his season, he's 2 for 6, but with runners in scoring positions, kind of where he's been rocky. Currently 0 for 3 in these situations, but 235 hitter against right-handed batters.
The 1-2 popped up once again to shallow right center. Harris comes under it and makes an easy catch for the 3rd out. So Garza pops out. Zahid Valenzuela gets all the way to second, but the Monarchs come up empty. We head to the top of the 2nd inning. Dogs 1, Monarchs 0. So Dakota Hudson back on the mound. Daniel Harris, Jacob Maben, and CJ Sapicki, 7, 8, and 9 in the order, are due up for the Dogs. Well, what did you make of the 1st inning from Dakota Hudson, Jackson? He gave up a run and also 2 hits as well.
He's comfortable around the zone, 22 pitches, 13 of those are strikes, so he's not missing, but when it's in the zone, I feel like these Dogs just are really comfortable right now in that attack mode. We saw that good single from Sisco and then Groshans, who are 2 guys who are hot right now, especially here at Legends Field in this series. But you got to just let that go. A good starting spot is always from a pitcher who can just let that 1st inning go, especially hits-wise. You kept him on base. That's all the matter to end out the inning. The 1 run will come and go, but I didn't hate it.
Well, he certainly has a stacked infield behind him. With Zahid Valenzuela at second, or at short, Alvaro Gonzalez at second. Those 2 have great chemistry, and then Sal Garza at first, and Austin Callahan at 3rd. Sliced into right field, and that is down for a base hit. So Daniel Harris starts off the 2nd inning with a single.
Harris gets his 3rd hit here in this 3-game series. Just muscled that outside pitch to right field, and it's another one that Hudson just left just outside or even just on the paint of that plate that these Dogs are able to get to. So even when it's not even in the zone, these Dogs are able to find the gaps here in the defense.
Dakota Hudson throws a first pitch strike. Yeah, he was a guy last year who spent time with the Salt Lake Bees, the AAA affiliate of the Los Angeles Angels. Pitched in 28 games for them with 24 starts. and also 136 innings of work, so certainly had his work cut out for him. 89 strikeouts from the Dunlap, Tennessee native. And that is a hard ground ball towards Callahan. The throw to Valenzuela. And the throw back to Garza is on time. So a 6-4-3 double play.
Callahan's
5-4-3 rather.
Callahan's getting his work cut out for him over there at the hot corner. That one, definitely why they call it the hot corner. Right off the end of the bat. Maben got a good swing, just got two in front of it. And that's exactly what you needed from Hudson. A good composure double play there. Now you got 2 outs on the board, no one on. You can kind of get yourself back into your zone without any stress of anyone behind you.
C.J. Sapicki here in the bottom of the order. Batting at .231. He's got 1 RBI this season. Was walked twice yesterday and was able to cross home plate twice. Through 8 batters, Hudson still looking for his first strikeout. Way outside.
Like the idea. Slider outside. It's going to get CJ to try and go on the front of his feet. Obviously sat fastball there the last 3 pitches.
And it looks like
pitch clock violation
pitch
on the
clock
batter,
violation
maybe.
was the story, and that's going to be the 3rd strike. So Dakota Hudson down to the inning. They give up 1 hit, but a 5-4-3 double play, and then a strikeout from Sapicki on a pitch clock violation. Boy, that was wild. We'll head to the bottom of the 2nd when we return. Tickets for Less is the official third-party ticket supplier of the Kansas City Monarchs. Shop your Monarchs tickets and more with transparent, upfront prices and no service fees at ticketsforless.com. Austin Callahan will lead off the bottom of the 2nd. Callahan, Boone, and Lindsley all are due up at 5, 6, and 7 here in the order. Austin Callahan batting a .211. Looks like he was showing bunt here early. What do you make of that, and would that be a strategy?
You know, anything to put it in play. There's a shift over there from Fuentes at 3rd, so if you can bunt it down that 3rd base line. Callahan's got a little speed to him. Maybe he can leg out an infield bunt single.
Chopper over Grace. Attacking it is Wilder, and he makes the play. So smart play from the shortstop, Ethan Wilder.
Yeah, they're shifted over to their left with Callahan, a pull hitter, as he is, especially against right-handed pitchers. He's batting .211 against them, but he favors that right side of the field, so they were obviously shifted. So a bunt was a good play, but when you get a pitch like that down the middle, it took a swing, it just didn't go his way.
Trevor Boone check swings at the first pitch. Our home plate umpire is the group chief, Alex Perry. At first is Trent Delmont, and at 3rd is Jeff Beeman. Popped up in the air towards Fuentes, who sits under it and grabs the 2nd out. Trevor Boone, who went 0 for 4 yesterday. Not the start he would have liked, but he'll definitely have more at-bats, and this brings in Brady Lindsley, the catcher. .214 batter. Lindsley just had a great command on the defensive side at the plate. He talked about that home opening game with Austin Hansen, and he played in college with him, so it was really easy for him to just have that connection, what they knew in college, and just a great guy, a great player. He's got a bright future.
You know, when you have a pitcher and a catcher that are in sync like that, it's like peanut butter to your jelly. It's amazing every single time, and it makes the game easier for both the catcher and the pitcher to know exactly where you want your pitches.
Well, that went off of his ankle. Fortunate to have that brace there.
No kidding. I know those things can hurt. Yeah, he's walking it off there at the plate.
Now, talking with Brady, he's a avid golfer. He also bowls quite a bit. Active guy. The 0-2. And on the inside for a ball. And funny enough about him, he actually grew up in Overland Park from first grade to fourth grade. He lived here in Kansas City. Then he moved down to Grapevine, Texas. And that goes foul. But he said his family's already been up to watch him. And about a 7-hour drive from Texas, where he's from. And fighting in this count.
These Monarchs are full of tenacious hitters who just want to get themselves the best look that they can get. Lindsley's one of them, especially with Grace being a right-handed hitter. These lefties are getting to see some really good fastballs. Looks like we have a kid in the right field.
In right field, that is something you don't see too often. Look at this. The kid might have got lost, and Sapicki just puts him back, back behind the fence. He said, hey, I want to play here too.
He was ready.
Oh, look at that. That's awesome. 0-2 to Lindsley in a check swing. Reverts to Jeff Beeman, the third base umpire. And two. Popped up once again, this time towards Groshans. Sits under it, and a routine grab. So Chicago goes 3 up and 3 down as Brady Lindsley pops out. Top of the order when we return in the third inning. Hollywood Casino at Kansas Speedway wants to remind you to download the Penn Play app on your mobile device so you never miss another promotion or gift giveaway. Log in and find your fun now at pennplay.com. Must be 21. If you have a gambling problem, then getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ksgamblinghelp.com. So top of the order for the Dogs, Giovanni DeJakamo, who flew out to right field his first time up. And the Dogs looking to add on to their lead on this 64-degree night. I've not seen the sun throughout the entire day, Jackson. It's been cloudy ever since we got here back in the morning. So, but nonetheless, it's a little bit warm than it was about 2 days ago on the home opener.
It was. You know, sun peaked out towards the end of the game on that home opener. Tomorrow, we saw a little bit of sun / some blue skies, but the clouds have really kind of overtaken this Legends area around this Kansas City, Kansas area. But like you said, the wind kind of died down. It's allowing it to just feel around that 65 area. Might get back down to just the low 60s by the time we get towards the end when the sky goes dark.
Also remind you, it's Thirsty Thursday here at Legends Field, so $5 on select beers for 16-ounce cans. So you got a great deal on some beers. You got brand new food here at the ballpark. Hooked into left field. And that's fouled. DeJakamo. We'll see the 0-2 from Hudson, and he swings and misses. So back-to-back strikeouts from Dakota Hudson. He's starting to settle in here, Jackson, with his second K.
7 strikes in the last 2 1/3 innings pitched from him to start out. I mean, he has started every single batter in the second, and to start the third on DeJakamo with a strike. He's really figured out his zone. Take those hits away. It's been a great performance to start.
Certainly has. He gave up that RBI single from Chance Sisco, which brought home Ethan Wilder in the top of the first. But since then, that point, he gave up another hit to Groshans, but starting to settle in. 1 down, the 0-1. Has found the zone at a fastball at 90.
5 straight strikes here. He's really feeling it.
Hudson again, and it is lined up the middle. A diving Gonzalez who couldn't get there in time. There's a base hit from Ethan Wilder. Gonzalez nearly with the play. Chance Sisco had that RBI single to bring home Wilder in the first. Been really swinging the bat well lately, Jackson, batting a .471.
Six for 9 in this series alone. He's seen it really well here at Legends Field, and he's got himself another good opportunity with a runner on with just the 1 out. He sees it really well against righties. Over a 300 is what he's batting, so this is in his element right now.
Sisco had quite the day yesterday. 3 for 4 at the plate, had a 4 RBI night. Also had that solo home run on Tuesday, which was their lone run of the evening. The 1-2 flied away. But Dakota Hudson, obviously he's been around quite a bit of baseball in his career. He underwent Tommy John surgery in 2020. Swing and a miss. He sends Sisco down. Out of the last 4 batters, 3 strikeouts from the former St. Louis Cardinal. Really starting to find that zone.
He is. Good off-speed pitch. Started in the middle, ended up at the feet of Sisco. As Sisco tried to put it in play to maybe try to advance Wilder from first to second, because Wilder's got some speed, but just great stuff here from Hudson as he's, like you said, settling in.
Wilder on his way to second, and he slides in there now. That stolen base by Ethan Wilder means he got the green light. The green light is a proud partner of your Kansas City Monarchs. So 2 down, Wilder puts himself in scoring position. Aaron Altair will see a second pitch strike. Altair reached base via fielder's choice his first time up. 1-1, and boy, that was close once again to our booth up here. We've had it to the left of us, Jackson, to the right of us now, and there's going to be a point here where that's going to be coming straight through this window.
I know, I'm kind of scared for that day, and I thought it was going to be there, but I'm ready. I don't know. Who knows if I'll catch it.
2 down, the 1-2 to Altair. A slider low outside of the zone, 2-2. Dogs have already had 2 runners left on base. The 2-2 to Altair, swing and a miss, and he sends him down. Dakota Hudson, 3 strikeouts on that inning, and we head to the bottom of the third, a 1-0 lead for Chicago. So bottom of the order, Alvaro Gonzalez, the Venezuelan native, will lead off. So Gonzalez, Head, and Smith, 8, 9, and 1 in the order, Jackson, and they're certainly looking to string together some hits.
They are, and it's none other better than Alvaro Gonzalez. Last night he wasn't hitting. He pitched an inning in a third, but so far he was 1 for 3 in game 1 with a home run and 2 RBIs. So a guy that really knows how to get the guys juiced and facing right-handed batters. He's seen it well, 375.
Yeah, he's been exceptional at the plate. 4 hits on 9 at-bats. He's batting a .444. Had that home run in the home opener in the 6th inning. Went opposite field as well, over that left field side, and Reggie Grace Jr. will deliver the 1-0 that's fouled on the first base line. Gonzalez tied for first on the team in RBIs with 4. This is popped up and
Callahan.
2 down, and the top of the order with Marcus Smith, who flew out to center. His first time up. And a bouncer once again towards Groshans, the underhand to Grace for the second straight out. The Chicago goes 1, 2, 3. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Jax Groshans will lead off when we return. United Consumers Credit Union is proud to be a sponsor of the KC Monarchs. UCCU has been working hard with the hardworking since 1941. Visit uccumo.com to knock your finances out of the park. And running through the park is a whole bunch of kids. Oh my God, look at this.
Yeah. Little traffic jam there in the right field gate.
They started from the third base line, and absolutely, there was probably at least 100 kids.
Oh yeah.
Look at this. This is awesome. It's youth night with group outings, and That's always great to see. Going to take a little bit to get them off the field. And we return with Jax Groshans, who singled on his first time up. Batting a .273. Hudson has really found his command on the mound, Jackson. Last 5 batters, 4 strikeouts.
He's really found that zone. He's comfortable. I feel like in that first couple of innings where these dogs were able to string some hits, it was that momentum that was carried over.
High fly ball to left field. Richardson ranges back and grabs the first out.
First couple innings, they were able to string together those hits. That's the momentum from last night, and I feel like just periodically Hudson was settling in and kind of owning that plate. And last night it was the dogs. Now Hudson's saying, you know what? I found it. He's mixing together that fastball and slider pretty well, and he's making sure these dogs aren't too comfortable at the plate. And like you said, another one retired here to start an inning. He's really moving now.
Brian Fuentes flew out to left. His last time up, yeah, you know, it took a little bit of time for Hudson to kind of settle in. But, boy, this is the Dakota Hudson that we know and a huge reason why he made the big leagues and stayed there. Also, when he was with the Colorado Rockies in 2024, he started 18 games. He pitched in 89 innings, had a 2-12 record, which, you know, sometimes can be unfair to a pitcher. But was sent down to AAA, and he's worked his way there and now found himself here in Kansas City.
And we're, you know, very, like you said, happy to have him. He's a great quality pitcher. We're seeing it today. Just another off speed that's these dogs aren't just able to see out of the hand, and that's the type of frame. He's 6'5". He has a very wide approach on his downstretch towards the plate. So he's tough. He's a tough pitcher to face. But if you do see something good, these dogs have been able to get to him. But other than that, I feel like these last couple of frames, he hasn't been too bad.
The 2-2 driven up the middle, and once again down for a base hit. A lot of hits today here for Chicago have been right up the middle.
And I feel like that's just the ability to see it. It was another off-speed pitch. That one just hung up a little bit too much for Fuentes. And, I mean, that's just the ability to see the ball well, and the dogs have been doing that today and yesterday. And that's the reason why they've been able to juice the bases up. They kind of go on a cold streak, but then one batter gets it going.
Yeah, they were held to only 1 run on the opening night game where they fell 6-1 to Kansas City. And then yesterday just got going from the get-go. 11 total runs. They had 2 3-run innings and 1 5-run inning. And that's all she wrote for yesterday.
You know, one pitch, the grand slam from Fuentes really broke it open, and then ever since that point, it almost felt like the pitching from the Monarchs just kind of went on a downhill, and they just weren't able to recoup.
Gets Harris down in this count, 0-2. Harris 1 for 1 with a single into right field in the second inning. Third baseman Brian Fuentes stands at third. 1 away. And the 0-2 from Hudson. Sends him down swinging. Dakota Hudson with his 5th strikeout. Look at the movement on that one, Jackson.
That's beautiful stuff. Again, starts in the middle, drops by the feet, and it looks like it's going to be right squared up, kind of what Fuentes saw. But just the break that Hudson possesses, it's really great stuff.
Slowly hit ground ball towards Valenzuela on his knees. The play to second. So after giving up a base hit from Brian Fuentes, a routine ground out from the Arizona native in Sahid Valenzuela, We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. We'll step aside. Tired of choosing between a cocktail you actually want and the diet you're trying to keep? Meet Carbless. Stop compromising on your taste buds. Find your bliss. Pick up Carbless in delicious flavors at the home plate bar or beer park. Carbless is the official ready-to-drink partner of the American Association. Kansas City down a run, only one hit. They've really been well on the defensive side. 3 scoreless innings, but looking to get it going at the home plate.
Yeah, it's just been the same story today and from yesterday. Great contact. It just hasn't gone through any of the holes of the infield nor the outfield. I feel like they've been swinging at really good pitches. It just has gone straight to the defense. But, you know, if you string together 2 good hits, I feel like, or even just get a couple walks, you know, it comes in the last place team in the American Association in the on-base percentage. You flip that around, you might be able to see some runs trickle across.
Valenzuela, Richardson, and Garza due up. Lined into right field over the second baseman, Harris, and Sahid Valenzuela starts off with a single.
Stays hot, 2 for 2 today, 2 singles back into that right field area, and this is exactly the medicine that you're trying to doctor up to these bats. It's just string it together. No outs now, so now you got some comfortability to really attack in the zone, and you have a guy like Richardson up who, great night last night, just looking to continue that.
Yeah, this is a Monarchs team who's 10th in the league right now, prior to tonight rather, in batting average at 10th. Batting at .225 in total, 10th in the league. Grant Richardson, who popped out to second. But this is the Valenzuela that we've known, starts his day off with 2 singles.
Quality hitter. I mean, he swings at, you know, the stuff he knows he can get to. That one was a little bit more outside, but the hand speed that Valenzuela's got, he's able to push it.
Grace pushes him back towards the bag.
He's also very patient as well.
Valenzuela already with a stolen base here tonight. The 1-1. And that's the thing with Kansas City. They have so many talented hitters. It's just about putting it together, and they know they can do that. Only 2 hits, both by Valenzuela. Can Richardson put it in play? The 1-2, and he does so right there. That kid's down before Sabicki can get to it. And 2 runners on. Thumbs up for Grant Richardson.
Continues to stay hot. 4 hits in 2 days from him, and it's a timely one. No outs that puts a runner in scoring position, and timely hits, stringing them together at the right time. Like Richardson talked about yesterday, he's looking to come through in moments that he knows that can benefit the team behind him, and why not get now? I mean, Hudson's put up some zeros. Now it's time for the bats to do their job.
For the first time today, Monarchs have 2 runners on. Hit high in the air on the third base line. Mabin comes over to it and makes the play. Valenzuela and Richardson both retreat back to their bags, but decent contact there from Saul Garza.
Inside middle of the plate, Garza got the hands around in time. It's just, I feel like these Monarchs have been slipping that bat underneath the ball a little bit more than they've been wanting to today especially, and I know Garza would like to see that pitch again, but still, 1 out, still a good opportunity with Valenzuela on second.
Austin Callahan grounded out to short. And fouls on the first pitch. The 0-1. And you talked about, yesterday when you had Kansas City in those long innings where Chicago just constantly was getting hits and guys on base. Said it's tough to then revert that to, on the offensive side, a little bit tired. And is that a thing?
It definitely is. You kind of look at that scoreboard a little bit too long. You see a bunch of numbers that it's going to be hard to get guys on for one, especially when you have a guy like Lacey yesterday who was continuing to just pummel the zone, and it's hard to load bases up with runners in scoring position. So it can be kind of demeaning, but this is the type of inning that those are really important, seeing that guys are able to see the pitches well and knowing that you can get up there and maybe do your part.
2-1 to Callahan, lifted in the air into left center field, and it is down. Here comes Valenzuela to score. Richardson gets the wave home. And the Kansas City Monarchs jump in front here in the bottom of the fourth. A 2-run RBI double from Austin Callahan.
And as timely as ever. These Monarchs are starting to wake up. They're finding themselves in good spots as Callahan finally breaks through with a great RBI chance, and he puts 2 of them on the board as they find their first lead of the night. And the confidence levels definitely in that dugout, a little bit more, that confidence boost is already up top.
Boone pops up. Jax Groshans, and it's Chance Sisco who looks over to it, but that goes out on the other side of the net. Timely hits. Boone nearly had that stay fair.
Boone, a great swing. He's had great swings here today and last 2 games. And right there, he's also ready to try and get a breakthrough moment. Callahan, with that big of a jump up to this game, putting 2 on the board that quickly, stuff can change so fast with just the guy batting underneath him, and Boone's looking to find a similar pitch.
The 0-2 to Boone. Five hits for the Dogs, 4 for Kansas City. But the Monarchs jump in front off of a RBI double from Austin Callahan. Grace faked him out there. The 0-2. High in the air to left field. Is it fair or foul? Boy, that was close. Just on the left side of the foul pole. My goodness.
You could tell these fans also were thinking the same thing as Boone just got ahead of the inside pitch and he leveled it. But that wind continued to just push it more and more left. And just feet, Joey, about putting 2 more on.
The 0-2. Well done here from Trevor Boone, running up the pitch count on Grace, who's up to 58 pitches. He's thrown 45 strikes. But Kansas City with their best offensive performance here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, I like this at-bat a lot. In this series alone, Boone's been sent down looking 3 times, so he's trying to just use that bat as a weapon. And even if it just gets in play, at least he's going down swinging.
Impatient. Swing and a miss, and Boone goes down.
Not happy on that one as the bat gets split into 2 pieces. Just gets behind on another fastball. Right down the middle, he wants that one again. I know he does, especially with a runner in scoring position, but I love that at-bat from Boone. He stayed patient. He stayed consistent with getting the bat to the ball. There's nothing bad about that at-bat, just couldn't get that final one.
Lindsley swings at the first strike. He popped out to first, his first time up at the plate. Former Nationals product. Very close once again. Boy, we've seen a couple of those, not only on the left field side, but also the right field side, with guys getting close, fair or foul, and it just goes in foul territory.
It's because, that Grace slider only averages around 79, 80 miles an hour, and when you're topping out 92 miles per hour on a fastball, the differences of speed can kind of get your timing off, and that's what's drawn these Monarchs hitters to get in front, is just watching those off speeds. It's a really good command by Grace.
Grace with the Washington Wild Things last year. He gave up 2 earned runs or less in 5 of his 11 starts last season. He's given up 2 here today. The 2-2 to Lindsley. Popped back. Two. And once again, we see a Monarch batter running up the pitch count, fighting in this count, and just trying to stay alive.
It shows a lot. Last night I feel like they were more amped to just watch those go by the plate and, get rung up looking. But today they're saying, if it's close, I'm going to try my best to put this out into the field, and that's the kind of difference you want to see out of a team from a night like yesterday to today.
Slow ground ball towards Harris, scoops it up and flings it on to first for the 3rd out. But not before Austin Callahan with an RBI double to bring home Valenzuela and Richardson. And for the first time today, the Monarchs have the lead. We'll step aside. Price Chopper is always chopping prices, and you can get your savings your way by email, text message, or in the My Price Chopper app. Get connected today and never miss a sale. Well, a guy that Dakota Hudson, Jackson, he's been really strong here on the mound as of late.
Last 3 innings, scoreless. A hit in each of those, but after that hit, he was able to string together 2 back-to-back outs in all 3. So it's the ability to just forget that, you put something in the zone, they got a good hit, but to not lose your feel, to not be afraid to throw that same exact pitch, because the next guy up, that could be a different story, and it has been. So I've loved what I've seen out of Dakota Hudson today.
C.J. Sapicki to lead off, and that goes right towards Callahan. Throws it across the diamond for the 1st out. Callahan just been really strong over there at third base.
He really has been. Great hot corner, good piece on the corner of the infield. He's got a quick glove. He's able to get to the ball really quick, and just the accuracy that he possesses. It's almost a lock over there to get good outs.
Top of the order with DeJakamo. Flew out to right, struck out swinging. And we know what he can do. Batting a .250, and he does so right there. Puts it on display. DeJakamo with a one-out single.
Third hit of the series. It was a weak hit. Almost sounded like that bat broke off the inside half, but just found something on the outer half and just wedged it out into left field. And Chicago in these one-out situations, especially with DeJakamo, you might see a stolen base potentially to put another in scoring position, but they're looking to notch this one back even.
Ethan Wilder has reached base both times today, one on a walk, and then also a single in the third inning. He's the lone dog to cross home plate. On the plate for a strike, and Hudson way ahead in the count, 0-2. Dakota Hudson resides here in Overland Park, Kansas. He's got his family here. And play not too far away. On this cloudy night at Legends Field, and he strikes out Wilder. Hudson has just been finding the strike zone and sends down Wilder.
For the fourth straight inning, it's been an out. And then after the hit, he's just been able to relocate that zone, and there another one. Strikeout number 6 for Hudson on the mound, and that's what separates a good starter to a great starter, is the ability to get that composure back right after the hit, and 2 outs on the board, a little bit less stress for him.
He's had 2 strikeouts in his last 5 batters. He's given up 1 single in that time frame. But technically his first recorded strikeout was really at the end of the second inning on that pitch clock violation. They gave him the strikeout. Since that point, he struck out the next 3 of the 4 batters. Ground ball towards Gonzalez. And a routine play to get out of the inning. So a hit from DeJakamo, a ground out from Sisco, and Kansas City in front 2-1. We'll step aside here at the bottom of the 5th. Kansas City, Kansas Community College makes college closer than ever. With affordable degrees, career-ready programs, and support that goes the distance, your future starts here. And now, with the new KCCC downtown location, plus campuses in Kansas City and Leavenworth, college fits your life right where you are. It's easy to make your next move. Summer classes begin June 1st. Learn more at kckcc.edu. So the guy that just made the play at second in the top half of the frame, Alvaro Gonzalez, to lead off. Joey Fear with Jackson Phelps. Glad you could be with us on this chilly-ish Thursday night. In the final game of the series, but only the 3rd game of the homestand. As Gonzalez popped out to the catcher in the 3rd inning. How big was that Callahan RBI double in the fourth.
Oh, it's probably the biggest thing since that, obviously the Game 1 victory here at home. After yesterday's victory, I mean, obviously that momentum is all the way almost down to 0, but with just one hit, realizing that, hey, we can get after this pitcher on the mound. We can string together some hits and get some quality runs home. It can definitely bring up that confidence level in the dugout. And you see guys right after Callahan come up and just willing to get on base, maybe move around a little bit more, but, that's as big as ever.
Reggie Grace has thrown 70 pitches through 4 innings, only 1 strikeout. But he's got a good defense behind him, and he'll set in for the 1-2. In for a ball.
You like that location. I can tell he's kind of jogging off the mound. It was a good slider, but this one was just called a little bit closer to the feet from Alvaro. He's got 2 balls now. We'll see how he can come back.
2-2. Gonzalez gets through, and he'll start off with a single.
It's exactly where he left off in Game 1, just punches it out of the infield. Just middle of the zone, and he found it and put it right where it belonged, right up the middle. And this is how it starts. The Monarchs, this is kind of that Game 1 feel. Just the hits began in the top of the order. Valenzuela last inning was able to get her all the way around. So we'll see how this bottom half can flip it over.
Hudson Head sends a high fly ball to right field. Once again, we've seen that multiple times today. Jackson. Oh, and that's great. C.J. Sapicki giving the foul ball to the kids in attendance, and always a souvenir to have. Boy, there's a lot of them on that lawn in right field. Broken bat, popped up and over the head of Wilder.
I know Head's happy over there. Any way to break out of a little slump, any way you do it, just put the ball in play, even if your bat doesn't come out of the play. Great swing. And like I said, his hands continue to be one of the fastest on this Monarchs team across the plane. And it was able to push that ball just over the head of Wilder. And now these Monarchs finally just catch and feel.
Out of the last 8 batters, 5 hits for the Monarchs, really starting to get it going. And this brings him to the top of the order with Marcus Smith, who shows bunt, perfectly placed down the third base line. Fuentes charges towards it and does not make the play in time. The speed of Smith pays off. The runners advance, and the bases are loaded with nobody down.
They were wanting to get that bunt to work all night long. And obviously with Smith, with the speed he possesses, you see him storming down that first base line. Good stride. And these bases just like that are loaded with 0 outs and a mound visit here to check on Grace. But this is how the Monarchs drew it up. They wanted a bunt. They wanted to get someone fast to get going. And now a great opportunity to get some insurance runs on the board.
Manager in his first year, Stan Clyburn, talking things over with Reggie Grace. What do you think he's saying in this moment?
You know, you did get yourself into a hole. You got no outs behind you, so you're going to have to get some defensive pitches. Put some in the air. If there's one thing you want to do now, it's to put it in the air. Not deep enough to allow. You can, I'd say, allow 1 run is going to be your max here. Put it in the air, get 1 home, but other than that, keep it to where your defense can turn some double plays. But it's going to be a hard hill to climb, especially with a man who is hot right now at the plate.
Marcus Smith stands at first. Hudson Head at second, and Alvaro Gonzalez at third as Valenzuela hits it to Groshans. Groshans throws back home, and Gonzalez gets home. So it turns out to be true. A ground out RBI from Sahid Valenzuela, the third run scores.
Great heads up look from Groshans over at first. Gets the force at one to get the first out. He tried to get the force at home, but Sisco was just off the plate, and that was a great slide there by Gonzalez, giving some high fives in the dugout. Just good heads up base running by him, and there's an insurance run, crucial for these Monarchs.
Well, Grant Richardson is walked.
That's an intentional walk there. Richardson's been hot, especially against these right-handed hitters. He's seeing it well, so you want to switch it up to Garza, who's a right-handed batter who has not been seeing the ball well across the other side of the plate against right-handed pitchers. So kind of putting yourself in almost a better situation numbers-wise.
Monarchs really have a chance to blow it open. Saul Garza, who's 0 for 2 at the plate. He popped out to second in the first and flew out to left back in the fourth inning. Richardson at first. Marcus Smith stands at second. And a ground ball to Fuentes. The force at home, the slide from Head, and he's out. Smart heads-up play from the third baseman Fuentes. To force the play at home.
Good pick over there at third. That was shot over. He's playing a little bit in to make that play at home with Head speed at the plate. That's a good job by Sisco to man the plate and almost get the tag as well for some insurance purposes, but now 2 outs on the board. Callahan in another big spot to drive in is still looking for their first big spot here in this game 3.
Austin Callahan had that RBI double last inning. Monarchs knocking on the door of blowing this game up. Callahan sends a high fly ball drifting in to left center. DeJakamo steps back and makes the play. But Kansas City records a run. It was Alvaro Gonzalez to get home. And the Monarchs have a 2-run lead, their largest. We head to the top of the 6th inning where Aaron Altair leads off. Skip the curveballs and hit a home run with your fitness goals. Join now for just $1 down and $15 a month. No commitment, just a clean, friendly environment with unlimited fitness training. Stop by Planet Fitness in KCK, home of the judgment-free zone. So Jackson threw 5 innings, 6 hits given up for Dakota Hudson, only 1 run and 6 strikeouts.
3 straight innings with 4 batters retired. You know, you get 1 hit in the mix of that, but like we've been talking about, the composure to just get those outs, get strikeouts as well. He's been really good about commanding that zone. His feel for it has been very dominant. So through 5 innings, just the 1 run allowed. This is a great comeback start here for Hudson.
After a run in the first inning from the Dogs, 4 straight scoreless, Dakota has thrown. Aaron Altair reached base via fielder's choice. He also struck out swinging in the third. What's been the key to the Hudson's success, you think? Has it just been those off-speed pitches, the variation in pitches?
I would say that is what he's been really dominant with, the slider, the changeup, but it's getting ahead in these counts early. He gets that first strike. It's been around 7 or 8 straight batters that he's been able to do that.
Altair to check swing, and they revert to the first base umpire, Trent Delmont, and he says, no, he didn't go. That's a ball.
When you're up in those counts early, it forces the batter to extend their zone, so they got to swing at stuff they maybe don't want to stay alive. So that's been the key.
Monarchs have started to find their rhythm offensively. Now looking to keep it up on the defensive side. Two. And now the payoff. Altair, decent contact, but it looks like that went off of his foot. Hit in the air to left field. And Richardson with the first out.
Just got Altair to chase on the inside half. And he just got underneath that ball, so likely might be a changeup on the inside half that just dropped below. So just a good quality first out again from Hudson, and as well as Richardson out in left. Great quality outfielder as well.
Jax Groshans had a single in the first inning. Also flew out to left. Slow ground ball. Valenzuela charges at it and makes the play. That's what he can do at that sixth position.
It almost looked like Hudson wanted to barehand it, but Valenzuela storming down to the ball right off the bat. And just the ability to pick it up and deliver a cross-body throw. That's great stuff over there at the shortstop position. He's filled in for Bissonette tonight, but that's the thing. You can fill a guy like Valenzuela over at second or short. He knows those positions to a key. Great out there.
Brian Fuentes played for the Lexington Legends last year in the Atlantic League. He finished tied for 9th in doubles. We know what he can do, and he's certainly proven that here this series.
He has. If you just give him something on the inside half, he can get around on it, and that wind is pushing out to left for him, and that's kind of what hooked it around that foul pole. That grand slam, it was another one of those that was just barely over that foul pole, just snuck inside the right side, so he can be dangerous. Only the one hit here at Legends Field, but it's been the biggest one.
Popped up high in the air. Garza makes the grab on the first base line. So Kansas City goes 3 up and 3 down as the final out from Brian Fuentes in the 6th inning. We head to the bottom half of the frame as Austin Callahan will lead off when we return. Rogers Wholesale Liquors is Kansas City's go-to for good times. For generations deep, Rogers Wholesale Liquor has been keeping KC hydrated for over 60 years. No matter what you're celebrating, do it with Rogers Wholesale Liquors. Please drink responsibly. So it's Trevor Boone, actually, to lead off here in the bottom half of the 6th. Monarchs with at least a run in the past 2 innings. They grabbed 2 in the 4th and then 1 in the 5th after Alvaro Gonzalez raced on home from 3rd and beat out the play.
It was just a good heads-up play, and that's what happens when you get guys in a bases-loaded situation. Loading those bases up is the main key for these Monarchs. Coming into today, they've been 0 for 2 with 1 RBI with Sal Garza in that King County series with a sacrifice fly, but all you got to do is get ahead in counts and just get guys on those bases.
Sent in the air. And that wind blowing out of left field, Jackson. If he can get something over there, perhaps that wind can take it the rest of the way.
He's gotten real early and ahead of these fastballs. If he can just sit behind maybe just a half a second, I feel like that wind can crush it over that home run patio, because we've seen he has been really early, but if he straightens it out, that thing could go far.
He's popped out to 3rd. He's also struck out swinging. This guy can change a game with one swing of the bat. The 0-2, Boone goes down looking.
Just a good backdoor slider there from Grace. So he can get into some types of rhythms here. We saw it in the first and the second and the third as well. So his first 3 frames were good. He's starting to do that. He wants to do that towards the back half.
Both strikeouts Reggie Grace has thrown have been on Boone. Now it's Brady Lindsley due up. Over the head of Harris and down for a base hit. So Lindsley on the board with a single.
Second hit on the series for him. Just a guy who is, if he gets into a rhythm, especially if he sees something in that lower half of the zone, which he did.
Gonzalez hooks one foul.
They've been really good in these no-out, one-out situations all day. It's been the ability to continue to move runners over. This at-bat here, Gonzalez just kind of looking to get Lindsley maybe over to second anyway.
So Alvaro Gonzalez, 1 for 2 at the plate. Had that single just last inning. Was able to get home, score the Monarchs' 3rd run. Batting a .455 to start the season, the returning Monarch, who played the most games of his professional career last year here in Kansas City. Played in 81 games. Monarch fans definitely know his name. He's spent time also with the Tigers organization. He's made it all the way up to AAA level. A switch hitter in Gonzalez, and he fouls back. Lindsley with the big leadoff at first. Here, 1 away. In the bottom of the 6th, the 1-2 to Gonzalez, and a ground ball to Groshans. The throw over to Wilder, back to first to Grace. He's just not in time, so Gonzalez beats him out. He'll get to first. Lindsley thrown out at second. Almost.
Just an unlikely swing there from Gonzalez. He just got over top that ball. He gets himself over at first, but in that moment, you do want to get a runner in scoring position. If there's going to be an out, you wanted to have that runner on second. So, like you said, almost if he gets a little bit down on that ball, he could squeak it out of the infield, but still a runner on here for these Monarchs.
Hudson Head. Reached 3rd his last time up. Had that single and was thrown out at the plate. Almost had that 4th run. But definitely swinging the bat better here this game.
As you can tell, he's a little bit more composed in the box, a little bit more loose as well with his swings. He's not as tight. You know, when guys get in slumps, they can usually like to shorten up their zone. But today he's feeling good, especially in 2-strike situations. So we'll see how he gets his way from this.
Grace puts Gonzalez back at first. Up the middle, past Wilder, in for a base hit. Hudson Head facing an 0-2 count. Singles into center. And now 2 runners on for the Monarchs.
We're going to get a double thumbs up here from Hudson Head. Finally got that good piece that he's been looking for. Swing previous, broke the bat, but this one was squared up right down the middle. That's got to feel good, and gives those double thumbs up to the dugout. And Monarchs, another runner in scoring position.
Timely hit because we return to the top of the order with Marcus Smith. Gonzalez stands at second, Head over at first. Inning not done yet. Monarchs won't go away here in the bottom of the 6th. Marcus Smith, who's 1 for 3. Reggie Grace looking for his 3rd strikeout. The 0-2 to Smith. Back in the 5th inning, yeah, he was able to reach base via bunt. Showed that speed that we know he has. Local guy. Grew up not too far down the road. Used to come to T-Bone's games when he was younger, and is really excited to have a talent like him. I know this organization is made it to the AAA level with the Rangers organization. You'll see the 1-2 now.
You know, a good guy to have here on this team. Had family and friends out on game 1. Had that RBI triple. It was cool to see his family out there. And I know he has some every single game, but it was cool to see the whole group.
Gonzalez on his way to 3rd. Head takes to 2nd. And a successful stolen base from the last 2 guys with a single.
And this is how you get put in good situations. A double steal on 2-2. Finds the dirt, so it allows them to get in safely with no problem. But now a full count. If Smith can stay disciplined here, see one off the plate, this could be another bases loaded opportunity.
Hudson Head at 2nd. Alvaro Gonzalez at 3rd. 2 down. The full count service to Smith. Staying in this count. Not going away.
If anything is close, and I mean anything, open up your zone by about an inch or 2. Because if it's close, you don't want to go down looking with 2 runners in scoring position on 3rd and 2nd.
2 in scoring position. And the leadoff hitter. We'll see the 3-2. And Smith does well. He is walked on his way to 1st. Patient at the plate. Grace thought it was a strike. This was close.
It was just off the right of the plate. Marcus Smith gave us a let's go after that one was called, and I got to agree with him. Great patience, a great eye, the discipline from him on 3-2 with 2 outs. That's good stuff. Bases loaded.
So Reggie Grace, his day looks like it might be done. Stan Clyburn talking with Grace and this infield, but the bases are loaded with 2 down. The bottom of the 6th inning. New pitcher in store for Chicago. We'll step aside. And so it's a new pitcher for the Chicago Dogs, Cade Connolly, the left-hander from Hinsdale, Illinois, and he faces a situation. Bases are loaded. Sahid Valenzuela, who's 2 for 3 today, and this is not a guy that Chicago would have liked to seen up. Marcus Smith stands at first, Hudson Head at second, and 90 feet away is Alvaro Gonzalez at third. And the 1-0 popped back just close to our booth once again, and Sahid Valenzuela right now has an opportunity to break this game open. Monarchs looking for their 3rd straight inning with a run. Connolly sets in the 1-1. Popped up high in the air. Groshans charges over towards it, but it's Chance Sisco to make the play. So the Monarchs leave 3 runners stranded as Valenzuela ends out the inning with a pop out. We head to the top of the 7th on KSMO. Midland Radio is the official communications sponsor of Monarchs baseball, headquartered right here in Kansas City. Midland has continuously been at the forefront of two-way weather, business, and emergency radio technology to keep adventures and families connected and safe. So a new pitcher on the mound for the Monarchs. Dakota Hudson's day is done, and Ryan Middendorf, who's only had 2 innings of work, 1 strikeout here this season. So Dakota Hudson's day is done. He went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, 1 run, only 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. So a terrific day from the Dunlap, Tennessee native.
Great comeback start from him from the first game of the season to his first time here at Legends Field. He really made it known that he's a good guy to have here in the Navy blue and red.
So we are seeing Ryan Middendorf. He's only faced 8 batters here this season, giving up 2 hits, but also had that strikeout as well. Daniel Harris will step in. He was 1 for 2 at the plate. Middendorf, a guy that went undrafted out of college, and a bouncing ball towards Valenzuela. Fires it over to first with 1 down. He's been busy over there today.
That third base, shortstop area has been very busy, like you said, Joey, but Valenzuela did a good job just kind of sitting back on his back foot, letting the ball come to him, and you saw that arm power over there. He can get it from across the infield just about a second or two. I mean, he has some great accuracy and power. Great shortstop to have.
Middendorf, a 28-year-old out of Cincinnati, Ohio. He spent last year with the Biloxi Shuckers, the AA affiliate of the Milwaukee Brewers. Also split time with the Nashville Sounds and their AAA affiliate. So, guy that's played some big-time baseball. Out of the Division II Lake Erie College, where he also played basketball as well. I mean, he stands at 6'6". So he's got some size to him. Jacob Mabin, who's 0 for 2 at the plate. But kind of an unconventional way to affiliated ball was Middendorf. He, like I said, he went undrafted, but then he was drafted 7th overall in the Frontier League draft by the Schaumburg Boomers. But worked his way into the Brewers organization, and now they're excited to have him here in Kansas City. Joe Calfabiantra talked about him. He Said he gives us flexibility not only as a starter but as a reliever, and now he's in this position right here in this game.
He's got good composure. He's got really hard as he throws.
Slowly hit fly ball to Richardson for 2 away.
He's got a hard release, and he's just able to get himself quick outs like that. Defensive pitcher, and that's exactly what you want out of the bullpen. An inside pitch there on Maben, and that's all you got. That's all it draws up, and now you've quickly got 2 outs.
Bottom of the order was C.J. Sapicki. Struck out on a pitch clock violation in the 2nd inning. Batting at 200. Product out of Northern Illinois. He became the first Husky in program history. He had 2 grand slams in a game back on April 15th of last year. So he's fresh out of college. And he's down in this count, 1-2. Grounded out to 3rd in the 5th inning. And Middendorf sends him down swinging. So the Monarchs go 3 up and 3 down. Ryan Middendorf records his first strikeout. To the top of the 8th we go. Monarchs 3, Dogs 1. Bottom of the 7th inning. As Grant Richardson to lead off. Richardson, Garza, and Callahan 3, 4, and 5 in the order. And Jackson, 2 runs for Kansas City in the 4th, a run in the 5th. But now, they had 3 runners stranded in the last inning, looking to put this game to bed.
Really are, and 3. That's a good number, but, if you're the Monarchs, the way the last couple nights have gone, you probably want to get 1 or 2 more insurance runs, but the pitching has been on point today. So if there's a worry there, I wouldn't have been worried as today as I was yesterday, but you always want to get as many runs as you can walking into that 9th.
So Grant Richardson will step in and hit a slowly hit ball towards Fuentes. Kind of check swinged at that.
Yeah, you could tell he didn't really even want to go for it. He was just giving it a look, but it so happened to hit the bat, and it actually had some good velocity off the bat. It just went right to Fuentes over at 3rd base. That's unfortunate. You'll get that one back.
So Sal Garza is due up. Yeah, Cade Connolly taking over Reggie Grace Jr., who went 5 2/3. He gave up 9 hits, 3 runs. Also threw 2 strikeouts as well. Not the best of days, but he only kept it to a 3-1 game.
I mean, it's very impressive stuff with especially the amount of hits. 9 hits, only the 3 runs. You can't be too mad at that. It's showing up in a good time situation. Runners in scoring position. He's been able to get those outs. And Connolly, with the bases loaded, able to get that out on Valenzuela as big as ever as well to keep his earned run average down on Grace.
So Saul Garza reached base back in the 5th via fielder's choice. Batting a 190 on the season, the McAllen, Texas native popped up once again. Groshans did not get to it. Boy, he lost it. Looks like he lost it up in the lights up there. That could have been a routine grab for the first baseman, but that's going to send Garza back to the batter's box, facing a 1-2 count.
Yeah, Sisco probably had the best eyes on it as Groshans storming down, who has a catcher's mind as well. You're used to kind of looking up at the ball, kind of have an angle. As yeah, Sisco just lost that one in the lights, but still 2-strike count.
Towards the shortstop, Wilder. for 2 down. Yeah, Cade Connolly went to the University of Michigan. As you can see, Sal Garza didn't get all of that one, and just like Valenzuela, Wilder's been busy at shortstop. But, Connolly went to Michigan, USC, Santa Clara, so played some big-time baseball. He was the only Trojan to post a 1.00 whip back in 23, finished 8th in the Pac-12 in appearances. "24 years of age, he's a young talent. Callahan, who got the day started when he doubled to left center to bring home 2 runners in the 4th inning. Recorded his first RBIs here this evening. 2-2. High fly ball sliced into left field, and Mabin with an easy grab. So Chicago goes 1-2-3 as Callahan flies out. To the top of the 8th we go when we return. Top of the 8th inning. Joe Calfapietro all smiles in the dugout as his team has a 3-1 lead, but they bring in a new pitcher, so Middendorf's day is done, and it's the returning Monarch, Stephon Moore, who will toe the slab.
It's a great guy out of the bullpen to have. He's that guy before your closer to come in to put just one more zero on the board. He's faced 5 batters. He's retired 3 of them via the strikeout. This is a guy that gets it done quick.
Drafted in the 26th round by the Tampa Bay Rays in 2018. He's a native of West Point, Mississippi, the 28-year-old. Went to Division II West Alabama. Only seen an inning in the 3rd of action this year. Faced 5 batters, and guy that's recorded 3 strikeouts, so a decent start for him, and he'll face the top of the order, Giovanni DeJakamo. Pitched in 20 games last season for Kansas City. Out of 22 innings of work last year, 34 strikeouts at a 1.61 ERA, which led the team.
Very hard thrower. He just gets behind these batters, and like you see, ahead 0-2, that's his name of the game, and he forces the batter to make that mistake every time.
So DeJakamo, 1 for 3 at the plate. He singled to left his last time up. But, Jackson, it's a 3-1 lead for Kansas City right now, but this game is still far from over. It's only a 2-run game. It feels a little bit different than that.
It does. It definitely kind of has that area where, the Monarchs kind of think, in the area it feels like they've winning because that's how dominant the pitching has been. There's been so many zeros. As only the first inning for these Dogs, it's been their only chance of getting across the plate. So that's why it kind of feels larger than a 2-run lead, because this pitching has been continuous of throwing up some zeros and just adding that comfort to these bats.
And he sends down DeJakamo swinging. Terrific start from the returning Monarch in Stephon Moore. Excellent pitch there.
Excellent. Just went all the way from across the inside of DeJakamo down to the outside half. He went from a 95-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle that got him tied up to an off-speed. He's got great control and great stuff.
So the only dog to cross home plate is Ethan Wilder, and he starts with a one-out single here in the top of the 8th. Tying run up at the plate with Chance Sisco, and Wilder stepped through that pitch.
That was a hard-thrown fastball again. Wilder just got all over it and drove it right up the middle. This is a guy with speed. He's already gotten one stolen base today. In this type of situation, you might see one because down by 2 runs, head into your final 2 innings, you definitely want to have every single chance you can get.
Monarchs need to be careful as Chance Sisco had that RBI single to bring home Wilder back in the first. The 1-1. Stephon Moore just came from Nayarit in the Mexican Winter League where he had 6 1/3 innings of work. So he's been consistently playing and pitching. But he's been around. He was also with the Perth Heat down in Australia. Spent time in Mexico, and a guy that's played in international baseball. Wilder with the big lead off the 2-2. Lower the zone, and now you got to be a little bit careful. Count runs full, 1 runner on, only 1 down, and on the verge of putting a runner in scoring position. The full serve is down and low, so the full count service comes for ball 4. And now, Jackson, what do you see?
You know, I see a big opportunity here for Aaron Altair coming up to the plate. A runner in scoring position, even if you get as close as just 1 run heading into that 9th inning, it just keeps yourself alive. And so 1 hit here could change this one.
Monarchs need to be careful. Aaron Altair, the former big leaguer, was the American Association All-Star Game MVP last year. He's had 37 Major League home runs. 35-year-old, late in his career, but a veteran guy, and now he's in a situation where he can make something happen. Well, after Moore struck out the first batter, he's having a tough time finding the zone. The 2-1 Altair. Three and 1.
He went back to the fastball there. You know, the slider could be dangerous with Altair going across the plate in front of a righty. I'd say go outside with the fastball. Just find that outside edge.
The 3-1 on the third base line. Callahan makes the play on the left field line, and the throw is in time. So what a heads-up play there from Austin Callahan. Gets Altair out at first, and now when you're in a position with 2 down, runners advance.
You know, this could be dangerous. The guy's already singled today in Groshans, but you don't even worry about these runners right now. You were able to get the out via the defensive spot as Callahan's been on his stuff today. Just trust that defense behind you.
Chance Sisco at second, Ethan Wilder at third, and this brings in Jax Groshans, the first baseman. singled back in the first inning. Yeah, this could be the biggest sequence of the game right now. You have the tying run at second, the leading run up at the plate. Here with 2 down. The 1-1 towards Callahan at third. Takes his time and fires it over to first, and the Monarchs get out of the inning. Thanks to the heads-up plays from Austin Callahan. Forced out the last 2 batters as Kansas City holds on to this 3-1 lead. We'll be back for the bottom half of the 8th. It's Trevor Boone to lead off. Bottom of the 8th inning. Joey Fear with Jackson Phelps. As Kansas City got out of the jam there, that could have been really close. You had runners at second and third, and it was Callahan who made the plays when needed and when called upon.
It's called the hot corner for a reason, and Austin Callahan has been hot over there at third base. 2 huge back-to-back outs to get him out of the inning. Stephon Moore did his job, put it in the field. Now you set your offense up even better to get some insurance.
So it's Trevor Boone. Pops it up high in the air to shallow left center, and it's the shortstop Wilder who lets it drop in his glove. Just not been the night for Trevor Boone. Struck out twice and he popped out twice. But he's a guy that we know is going to respond in a big way. And it's Brady Lindsley. Singled his last time up. It was Tail Wagon Wednesday yesterday. You had dogs in the park, plenty of them. That was always a great sight to see. Thirsty Thursday here tonight. And then tomorrow night, post-game fireworks after the game. Should be about a 70-degree night as Lindsley takes the first strike. 70-degree night. Rain is going to go away early in the morning and should be a fun Friday night as Monarchs will welcome in the Lake Country Dockhounds. Sent in the air to right field, and it's Sapicki with the second out.
Loud contact off the bat. It was 93 miles an hour off of it as Lindsley just got a little bit too underneath it. If he squares it a little bit more, that wall is short out there in right field. He might have seen some grass burn, but 2 quick outs, and Docs are just looking to get themselves 2 runs to go.
Stan Clyburn looks like he might make a call to the bullpen. And it looks like a Dogs pitcher will come out. What is the situation on this? You have 2 down. Is it just to get another guy in? Because it's interesting.
It is. Maybe cross hand, maybe give a different look to Gonzalez, but Gonzalez is a switch hitter, so that doesn't really come into play. So maybe just a new look and maybe just a new fresh arm to see.
So a new pitcher when we return. The Monarchs still have a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. New pitcher on the mound, and it's Bryce Sham, the youngster, the 22-year-old. Played for Carthage at the Division II level. Was the program's all-time leader in strikeouts. So the native of Munster, Indiana. He's come in a situation where there's 2 down. Pop out from Boone and a flyout from Lindsay, but Alvaro Gonzalez looking to keep the inning going and may try to provide another spark. Was able to cross home plate in the 5th inning. Sham spent some time with the Dogs last year. Appeared in 13 games. He had 9 starts. The 1-2 to Gonzalez is down in the dirt. So it's going to be interesting, Jackson. You have a 3-1 lead. Stephon Moore, a little bit shaky that last time. Do you go with him again, or perhaps they're looking for a closer?
Probably get more of a closer. Durbin Feltman has the only save so far this year, so you might see him come out. And it's just about getting the best arm possible. You might look at the lineup, see how many lefties or righties you got, put the handness that matches it the best. But, yeah, I'd say Moore is a good guy to just keep out there for 1 inning. You know, his composure might, differ from time, so probably a new arm maybe.
It's the Chicago team who's given up 9 hits. Only 3 runs. Prior to tonight, they're 4th in the league in ERA. The Monarchs were 6. Bottom of the 8th inning, 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Here on the returning Monarch, Alvaro Gonzalez. We'll see the full count offering and hits a high fly ball into right field. Sapicki charges over it, and he makes the play. Wow. What a play from Sapicki in right field. Gonzalez thought that was gone for a moment. C.J. Sapicki right in that right field corner and able to make the play. So at the top of the 9th when we return, Monarchs looking to close it out for their 3rd win of the season. So you call it, Jackson. Durbin Feltman will be the one to look to get the save and give the Monarchs their 3rd win of the season. Feltman, a guy out of Conroe, Texas. The 100th overall pick back in the 2018 draft by the Boston Red Sox. Former TCU product. A veteran right-hander. He's pitched in close to 170 games in the minor league level, so he's got a chance to earn his 2nd save of the season.
Big spot for him. We'll look to see how he can control. The zeros have been a big thing, just the 1 run in the 1st inning. He's only faced the 3 batters and retired, and one of them a strikeout, so we'll see how fast this could be, or you just got to be careful here.
Brian Fuentes, his final at-bat of the night. Back in the 2025 season, just last year, Feldman split time between 2 teams in the Atlantic League. He was with the Staten Island Ferry Hawks and the Lexington Legends. Two-two. been hugging around that 87, 88 mile per hour range. And that was a misfire.
Just got a little bit ahead of himself. The release point, he was trying to probably dip it below the zone as it came in at 85, but yeah, just got to get the back that release. You don't want to start with an early base runner on, obviously, with no outs. So we'll see how he can come back from that.
The payoff. Out of the zone, and that puts Fuentes on base, and the tying run of Daniel Harris up.
That is a big at-bat there from Fuentes. He stayed very patient and watched everything. Now, those are some tough watches as well, especially that last pitch. It's close to the inside half of the zone. It looks like a pinch run will come in here for Fuentes to get some speed on the bases, and we'll see a little bit of a rally coming on from the Dogs.
Well, this game is not done yet. Daniel Harris, who singled in the second inning, and he swings and misses at the first pitch strike. Is this a situation where Fuentes, at first, you look to potentially steal?
I would say, if there's something good, like an off-speed pitch, it's coming, why not go try it? Put yourself in the best position to get that at least within one run.
Feltman starts this at-bat well with 2 straight strikes. Daniel Harris with 5 hits this season. Looks like he lost looks like he lost an armband. Fuentes at first, an 0-2 count on Harris. Swing and a miss, and he got him. So after Feltman walks Fuentes, he strikes out Harris on a gorgeous fastball that paints the upper zone at 94. And Jalen Williams, the pinch hitter, making his first appearance at the plate today. He batted on Tuesday. Batting a 167 this season. The 1-1. Shallow fly ball that gets down for a base hit. And Jalen Williams keeps the inning going here, only 1 down. And now the leading run up at the plate. Bottom of the order with C.J. Sapicki, and Lindsley wants to talk things over with Feltman. Monarchs have to be careful. They were able to get out of the jam in the 8th inning. Sapicki 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. So Feltman ahead in this count, 0-2. The 0-2. 2 outs away, and the Monarchs will grab their third win of the season. Currently fourth in the West Division standings. Sapicki strikes out looking, and Durbin Feltman with a huge strikeout. Found the left part of the zone at 88 miles per hour. And now, top of the order with Giovanni DeJakamo for perhaps the final out of the night. Ground ball to Feltman, underhand over to Garza, and that will do it. After a loss yesterday, the Monarchs grab the win today and take the series versus the Chicago Dogs. A 3-1 win, and it was all 3 runs came in the 4th and 5th inning. Solid display on both sides of the ball. Sahid Valenzuela was exceptional at the plate. He went 2 for 4. Grant Richardson 1 for 3. As Joe Calfapietro all smiles, Monarchs grab their first season series win. As Austin Callahan had quite the night at the plate. He had a 2 RBI afternoon and had that in the 5th inning. It was huge from him to get it going, and the Monarchs grabbed in 2 runs. It was Alvaro Gonzalez who also got home in the 5th inning. For my partner, Jackson Phelps, myself, Joey Fear, and our entire crew saying so long. Have a good night, everybody.